You know what's crazy? We spend years, sometimes decades, chasing validation from people who don't even know who they are. We silence ourselves just to be accepted by people who haven't accepted themselves. And the tragedy is, while you're trying to fit in, your soul is screaming to stand out. That voice inside of you, yes, the one you keep ignoring, it's not a whisper, it's a roar muffled by the noise of expectations, judgment, and fear. So I want to ask you something. Whose voice are you really listening to? Theirs or yours? Because if you live by their praise, you'll die by their rejection. But if you follow your inner voice, you rise, baby, you rise. I remember the first time I ignored my inner voice. I was young, new in the industry, and everyone around me had an opinion. You're too black, you're too loud. You're too emotional, you're too spiritual, too honest. And the worst one, you're too much. For a moment, I believed them. I tried to be less. But let me tell you something that changed my life. The moment you dim your light to make others comfortable, you betray the very essence of your soul. I had to learn to listen, not to the noise, but to myself. And that's what this hour is about. Today, I want to take you on a journey from self-doubt to self-trust, from outside validation to inner liberation. Let's get real. So many of you right now are stuck, paralyzed, because of what other people might think. You're not starting that business, not ending that toxic relationship, not chasing that dream. Why? Because you're afraid of being judged. You've handed over the keys to your life to people who don't even know where they're going. And let me tell you something. You cannot live a legendary life with a permission slip from people who are living ordinary ones. You were not born to blend in. You were born to break free. And breaking free begins with one decision. Their opinion is not your truth. Your inner voice, your intuition is the divine GPS of your life. But we've been taught to ignore it, silence it, to override it with logic, with opinions, with doubt. But that voice, that is your soul speaking to you. You know the feeling. It's that quiet tug in your heart, that knowing in your bones, that whisper that says, this isn't right, or go for it, or you deserve more. When you don't listen, you suffer. When you do listen, even if it's hard, even if it costs you relationships, comfort, or approval, it always leads you home. Let's talk about something that makes most of us freeze: rejection. You post a video, and someone leaves a hateful comment. You speak your truth, and someone calls you dramatic. You show your heart, and someone mocks it. Rejection hurts, yes. But what hurts more is betraying yourself to avoid it. Let me say that again. Rejection stings, but self-betrayal scars. You cannot build an authentic life while living in fear of being disliked. Your worth is not negotiable. Not up for public vote. Not dependent on likes, shares, or claps. It is divine. It is rooted. It is yours. There will come a moment, maybe today, maybe 5 years from now, when you finally say, I choose me. Not in a selfish way, in a sacred way. You choose your truth over their expectations. You choose your voice over their noise. You choose your purpose over their opinion. That moment is when everything changes. The doors open. The fog clears. The magic begins. Because when you stand in your truth, the universe stands with you. Let me share a truth I live by. I am not here to fit in. I am here to rise. I have walked into boardrooms where I was the only woman, the only black person, the only one talking about spirit, energy, and purpose in a world chasing profits. And I stood tall. Because I knew if I silenced myself for them, I would never hear my soul again. Living unapologetically doesn't mean you never doubt. It means you move forward anyway. It means you give your inner voice a microphone, not a muzzle. It means you stop living a life that looks good and start living a life that feels good. So here's my invitation to you, beautiful soul. Turn the volume down on the world and turn the volume up on you. This week, I want you to do something bold. Say what you really mean. Choose what your heart wants, not what makes you look perfect. Create something messy and true. And above all, start honoring your inner voice like it's your most trusted guide. Because it is. You don't need their permission. You don't need their praise. You don't need their applause. You just need you. So choose you again and again and again. The world will adjust.